So you want to learn how to chop samples? You want to make a banging ass sample beat? Well, you came to the right place. Shotty Guns Beats here from WeGotBeats.com. Go there, get your free beat when you become a free member. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this. I don't want to waste your time. I know you come and your time is valuable, and I appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I got plenty of videos, plenty of great information coming your way. Please like and subscribe, share this video, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is you need to find the damn sample. Of course. I mean, that's like the first thing that you must do is find the damn sample. Now, I come from the old school. I mean, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, Large Professor. I mean, those people were my idols growing up. Those are the people that I wanted to be like growing up. Like, when I first got into music, I wanted to be a DJ like DJ Premier. And then I got into rapping, and then I started making my own beats. So I come from that era. I have a Akai S950 right here. So I really support getting you in the crates. Start digging in the crates. Get your hands dirty. Get yourself a turntable. Okay? Now, a few tips on buying records. This is the latest record that I bought. It's George Carlin. This doesn't have music on it. This is a comedy album. But even though this is a comedy album, there's plenty of funny little bits, little voice samples that you could put into your beats or put into your beat tape. So this is a very excellent thing to have. Not just having music records, but having, you know, all sorts of different records. But a couple different points. You need to brush up on your music history, what music sounded like in the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, 50s. You know, brush up on your music history. That's what digging in the crates will do for you. For example, I got Bob James here. Now, if you are familiar with Bob James, you know that the Nautilus break is one of the most popular samples in all of hip-hop. This is not the record, but this is one of the records I have. I have another one that has the Nautilus break, and I can't recall what the record's called, but, you know, you look in and you see, you know, don't get too scientific. Look at the creativity. Okay, it's Bob James, so I know this is going to be dope. Look, a nickel. It's a nickel. I mean, the cover intrigues me, so I open it. It's got a real nice, you know, most records don't have this little two-fold thing. So you open it, and you look for, you know, the record label, who produced it, who played on the record. So, you know, you got Grover Washington Jr., who's been sampled countless times in hip-hop. Most notably, DMX, Slippin'. That was a Grover Washington Jr. sample. I mean, you got Dave Sanborn, who's great saxophone player. I mean, these are the types of things you need to look into in order to pick out, you know, what you want to buy. I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, just get your fingers dirty. But let's just say that you don't have access to a turntable. You don't have a turntable. You don't have records. Okay? You can still apply this to digging on the internet. I've been using YouTube more than anything lately in finding samples. I mean, what's so great about the internet is that you can find rare samples that you couldn't normally get the record for, and people will post them online so that you have access to them. The only bad thing is you don't have the same record quality sound, but it's okay, you know, it'll still sound good and everything. Now, once you find the damn sample, you need to actually listen to it throughout the whole song. I don't care if the song is whack. I've heard plenty of samples. The songs were corny, but then they dropped. There was a break, and then the sample was just so cold that there was no way that you could not touch it, and then it goes back in the regular song. This is a lesson that I learned really heavy just a few years ago, and I'm going to go into this story. This is why I have this beat pulled up. This sample right here, I've had it since 2007, okay? And back then, I was going through beats, cranking them out, just beat after beat after beat. And I wasn't taking time to listen through the whole sample, okay? So this is the sample I used, the very beginning, back in 2007. very dope, okay? It's a dope, cool little sample, right? So I did that. It was a cool little beat. Now, fast forward a couple years later. Shout out to D Green. Me and D Green grew up together. He's also a producer. He also owns his own clothing line. I'll leave the link below so you can purchase some of his stuff. I mean, great clothes. But anyway, he does his own music as well. And just a few years ago, he dropped a track with a couple people that he produced, and it was called All Day All Night. And I was like, man, that sample is banging. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit was just, hard as hell. Like, I wish I would have had access to that sample. So fast forward a few months after that, I'm in here, I'm going through all my old samples that I got from like 2006, 2007, and I'm just laying in bed, listening to it. I'm not fast forwarding, I'm just listening to it. And this sample came on. I was like, man, I've already used this. I'm not gonna listen to it, but I just said, fuck it. I don't want to get up out of bed. I'm just gonna listen to it. And all of a sudden, this part drops. That's the sample he used. I was like, oh my god, I've had that the entire time and I didn't use it? I didn't listen through the whole song to hear that part? Like, are you kidding me? So I was like pissed at myself. So that's a lesson that you need to learn. Don't learn it the hard way. Learn it now. Listen to the whole song. I don't care what it is. Listen to the whole song, because there's going to be a hidden gem in there somewhere. And I'm the type of producer that when I hear a sample being used, I don't usually like to go in and resample it. I want to fuck with a sample that I've never heard used. You know what I'm saying? But this has been weighing on me, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to fuck with this sample and do it differently. Okay, Camtasia messed up on me a little bit. This is the beat that I'm working on. It's not finished by any means, but I'm going to go into the third and final step. Let the ideas flow. So this is a pretty easy sample. Like, when you hear it, you pretty much know, right? But there's a lot of samples where there's just a little tiny snippets where you can put together. I'm not going to do one of those complex videos. I've been known to throw like 3 or 4 different samples into one beat. You know what I'm saying? With sampled drums. I used to do that heavily back in the day. Now I'm just like, fuck it, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm trying to let my composition over it. So this is a very easy sample. I mean, when you hear that brass part, you pretty much know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But it's more complicated than you think, okay? So when I heard this part, okay, just listen to it. Okay, now that seems simple. Now, what I used to do when I first started making beats is I would just hit the downbeat, and then shit would sound a little bit off. And I'm like, why is that? And then I started fucking with the sample, because back in like 2004, there was no YouTube, There was no YouTube. I had to learn how to make beats myself, I didn't have tutorials or anything. So I started messing with it, and I realized you need to get precise chops in your sample. So if you're fucking with something like this, you need to have your chops very precise so that you can so it doesn't sound so repetitive. It don't sound like a loop. You can actually chop. If you notice right here, it's all really, really nicely, finely chopped. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, when that first downbeat hits, now, if you hear the hi-hats, you hear dun, 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 okay? If you hear them hi-hats, I'm cutting it where those hi-hats begin, so that when I go ahead and start chopping it, I can make that horn part longer. So it doesn't have to hit into this part right away. So then I can make change-ups. I can switch it up a little bit, make it not so monotonous. And combining that with the composition, I mean, you're in for a very nice treat. So I hope this tutorial on how to chop really helps you improve your sample game. If you got any questions, leave some comments below. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys, and I really want to help you succeed in making the dopest beats you can. If you want more sample tutorials and me go a little bit in depth into some of this stuff, please leave some suggestions. I want to hear what you guys want. This ain't about me, this is about y'all. So just leave it in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I got some more tutorials coming up for different things. I'm having a mixing tutorial, automation tutorial. I got even another sample tutorial like this. So you definitely want to stay tuned for what's coming up next. Like I said, go to wegotbeats.com, become a free member, get your free beat, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care, and I'll see you in the next couple videos.